good evening, or good night, wherever you are. Oh, I got some friend requests. Who are these people? Always got to check my friend requests. All kind of craziness. AI making friends, other corporations making fake friends to try to get you in there. Let me see. YouTube, you should be good. And let's bring Facebook in. It's weird. Things are actually looking decent this morning. I don't know what's going on. Let's see if notifications go on. Let me see, where is YouTube? YouTube comments right there. And Facebook should be going live now. I want to talk about sight. Visibility. It's Funky Friday. You know, Fridays, I would love to just sit back and talk crazy stuff. There's always so much nonsense going on in the world, so I don't get to talk about the things I want to talk about. I would love to just sit back Fridays and just talk aliens. That would be awesome. Just sit back and just talk secret technology and lies and government around space travel, but we can't do that because they're trying to kill people. Ah, goodness. One thing I kind of don't like is I got responsibility now. I don't like responsibility. I want y'all to take this back. I don't want responsibility. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. I don't get. Good morning, everybody. Deborah and Selma and Heaven and Wilhelmina, Sarah, Courtney and Joseph and Susan and Lori and Jeannie and Betty. Oh my God, what y'all work today or something? Daniel and Kimberly and Lynn. I'm getting tired just reading all these names. Where the hell y'all come from? Good morning, Heaven. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Good morning, Kati. Oh my goodness. Tina, everybody up. Germany, and Sharon and Georgia. Good morning, Susan. I'd love to just do alien talks. I'm gonna talk about invisibility today, though. Cloaking devices, being able to see. the faceless people who always run all these governments. But I think when you're an adult and you got responsibility, you got to talk about things that try to make the world better. Good morning, Lynn, and good morning, Dee Dee and Susan. I guess Facebook likes us today, y'all. Facebook is up. I don't see YouTube, though. YouTube may not like us. Good morning, Funky Fish Friday. No, Tina, it is not Funky Fish Friday. Nobody will be slapping anybody else in the butt with dead fish on my watch. That's just not going to happen. We ain't doing that. Good morning, everybody. Going to yoga. All right, you going to? I want to talk. You going to yoga, Selma? I do. I want to talk about aliens so bad. I do. I try to whittle in. Y'all notice how I try to whittle in. Selma, I try to put it in there anywhere I can. I try to get UFOs and aliens in there, but yeah, they're killing people. You have to. We got to talk about them not killing people first. Good morning, Dan. What the hell you eating? You waking and baking cookies and coffee? You're not supposed to. You going, man, don't do that. That'll ruin your immune system. You're supposed to eat something raw and natural first thing in the morning. It's like romper room up in here. It's like romper room up in here. Oh, speaking about music. Oh, I was laughing yesterday. I couldn't get no likes. I get people upset with my posts sometimes. I couldn't get no likes. I was, what was I doing? I was watching. My sister texted me. I was heading home. I was heading home traffic jamming. Go home, get a little fun music playing or something. And what did she do? She sent me a text about Bobby Brown. No, she sent me a picture because you can send these picture gifts and texts. And Bobby Brown was like dancing or something. And I was just like, what the hell you got this crackhead on my messenger for? I'm trying to drive home. She said, oh, I was listening to the Ghostbusters song. I was like, oh, okay. Well, you know what? I pulled it up. And so I started playing the Ghostbusters song. I'm driving that, man. I'm paying attention to the road, but YouTube is doing what it's doing. And I happened to glance down at the screen. And you know, Bobby Brown, because he dead. Have y'all seen the video? Y'all see the video? You're supposed to watch the video. I posted a video. I couldn't get no likes on it. And so, because I try to tell people, going back into the 80s, oh, Donald Trump was a fixture all over hip hop. He was all over rap, pop, R&B, partying with the people. It was just, that's why it's crazy to me. He became racist just magically. Democrats just sprinkle a little racist dust on him, and magically now, I don't believe it. Like I said, I don't believe it. It's all fantasy to me. I think everybody's racist. That's just my take on things. But anyway, so I looked down at the screen And then Donna, you know, because you had Bobby was dancing on the, he's like a 50-foot Negro. He was dancing on the buildings and stuff. I'll post a video. I can't play it here. And you see Donald Trump, a young Donald Trump, come out the Trump Tower, and Bobby Brown dancing on the building. And Trump looks up like, what the hell? And it's just, this is what I'm saying. I don't believe, y'all. I don't believe. I'm sorry. You can try to make me a believer all you want. I am not a believer. I don't believe any of this nonsense. I believe we have faceless presidents, faceless Senate, faceless Congress, and whoever you put in there, they're just people who want power, and people who want power will do whatever gets them that power. They'll do whatever they need to get them that money. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I got like -7 likes. They're like, because the Trump people don't like it because they're like, no. They got a 50-foot Negro. No, he's nice with the people. He was in New York. No, he was a Democrat. No. And then the other people on the other side, no, he racist. No, he's mad because Bobby on the building. He said, yeah, but he had to approve a 50-foot Negro. You know, you can't just go nowhere and get a 50-foot Negro on your building. You don't just wake up in the morning like, you know what? I think I want a 50-foot Negro on. All right, I'm gonna stop. Let me stop. I don't believe y'all. I don't believe your politics. I don't. I think it's all about lying. It's all a show. It's all for power. They all want to colonize everybody. They want to kill Venezuela. They're all friends in murder. And so we got to do, I want to talk about invisibility. Can I do that for a minute? Am I allowed to do that? Y'all know invisibility is real, right? Y'all know it's real. Y'all know your government's got it. Your military's got it. You know, and Japan got it. I posted that video a while back about, I'll post it again if you want to see it. In Japan, they had the guy who made the cloak, and there are different types of ways to cloak people. And it makes sense to me, because if you really think about it, we're not actually here. I talk about atoms, you know, the atomic mass of things, right? We're not actually here, you know, like literally, when people look at you, there's not enough atoms for them to actually see. They're seeing fields, right? Your mass is nothing. So it's just your brain representing what somebody looks like. Your wife don't look like that. Nope, your husband does not have a six-pack. I'm sorry, he does not. She's like, yeah, he do. I feel it all the time. Yeah, no, he does not have a six-pack. He doesn't have it. It's a field, y'all. It's just a field. There's more space than matter, right? So you see through people all the time. Like a good example, I was spending my time in my space stuff the other day. And you know, you can see through the sun. You know that, right? Because what happens is light comes and it hits the back of the sun, because light and gravity, this old dude named Einstein, don't worry about him. He's a smart guy, He had pocket protectors and everything. Like your doctor's lab coats, you can trust them, just like with all the measles, mumps, and everybody run out to get their vaccines because of a national emergency of measles and mumps. Just leprosy's coming back, y'all. Go get your vaccine. Anyway, I don't get to go through that. But so anyway, so Einstein had lab coats, so you trust what he'll say. And he said that gravity bends light, right? So this is why when you look at the sun, they did this experiment where you can actually see stars behind the sun, because the light hits the back of the sun and the gravity well drags the light around it. And that's what it does with all matter. So you can actually see through the sun because the light bends around it. All I ask is y'all see through the president. That's all. Can we do that? Can we see through your government? Can we see through your congressman? Can we see through people sending me their 2020 pics still? I'm just like, can we see through these people, please? Can we see the light behind the people? Can we see through the faces that aren't actually there, all invisible? Can we see the oligarchs behind them? Can we see the corporations behind them? Can we see the greed behind them? Because they're about to go kill Venezuela, y'all. And I think that's a bad idea. I do. I think, I do want to show people, before we get on Venezuela, I want to show you something. Are y'all commenting? You're frozen for now. What's that? What y'all frozen? Oh, they're deep state. They messing with me. I'm talking about the sun. Because it's a part of flat earth theory, by the way. You can't look up light bending around the sun without running into flat earth. And I'm not saying everything flat. So don't flat earth. Y'all don't attack me, send me 800 videos a day. I'm just saying that part of what you're saying is true. NASA's always lying, but it doesn't necessarily mean the earth is flat. It just means NASA's always lying. It's because people can't see through the people in government that's always lying. That's all I'm saying. But they're right about some things. They're right about some things. All right, we okay? I'm gonna show a video. We good? As long as it's not messing up for anybody, I can show a video. If not, I'm sure my bandwidth's gonna get me. We might also be looking at a sun simulator. Tammy, are you flat earther? No, you don't have to come out the closet, Tammy. You flat earther? I don't know. But you know what? I wouldn't doubt it, Tim. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. My flat earth people around here, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Y'all come out to me and say, hey, the government's lying, the sun is a projection, and the moon is a projection. All I'm going to say is, have they lied before? Have they lied about anything in the past? And if they have, you land on my plausibility scale that they might be lying. Now, I don't necessarily believe it, but can we get together and say no more secrets in government so we can search a database and find out if there's a big projector somewhere missing some holographic material or something that they might be projecting? Because we could find out the truth if we all agree that the government's lying. It shouldn't be lying. Another example. Oh, still freezing on somebody? Who is that? Didi? It's freezing on you? Girl, is it just you? It might just be you because you got technical issues, girl. I was watching your broadcast. I was watching Didi yesterday. Didi was just, she was just talking and stuff. The mic wasn't working. We were trying to lip sync, trying to figure out what the hell you were saying. But listen, you got technical difficulties. Let me know if y'all are okay. If y'all are okay, I want to show you a video. In the meantime, relational. Somebody sent me a video on, who was that? Sister Maureen on Sandy Hook, right? Because you got the lawsuits about the Sandy Hook shooting because the false flag. People said it's a false flag, and other people said no, people died. And so there was a lawsuit from the people who died, parents, to the people who said it's a false flag. I got my 2 cents on that. Like I said, I don't get in the fray. I don't like to get in the fray in the fight because I'm not here. I'm an observer of the human race. I think you're all nuts, and I love y'all, but I think you're all nuts. So I stay out of the fray, but I like to ask the questions of, what's the root problem? Why do people always see false flags everywhere? I don't know. Is the government always lying to them about stuff? Then they actually are within rights and historical wisdom to question everything the government says. So what if the lawsuits weren't focused on the people who said the government's lying, but were focused on the government that's always lying? Like, what if the lawsuits were focused on the real false flags that have happened in the past, all the wars we've been lied into? What if we actually focused the lawsuits on the fact that the government thinks it's okay to lie to you, like your outgoing president, what's his name? Obama, something like that. Your outgoing president, he wrote the Propaganda Act, which means he can lie to you. So naturally, it's going to make people suspicious of government because now it's legal. They've always been using the money, but now it's totally legal, and they can use the money to lie to you anytime they want. So of course, that's going to make people see false flags, conspiracies, and question their government because it makes sense. And your lawsuits focus on the other poor people instead of focus on the government that made the poor people question everything the government says. Like, I think it would actually fix everything if we just dealt with the root cause of the problems. That's all I'm saying. I'm not in it. My name is Bennett. That's what we had to say when I was a kid. My name is Bennett and I ain't in it. That's why I don't do false flag stuff. I'm not like Sister Debbie. I can't do that. She got an eye for certain things, so I don't. I just, are they lying? If they're lying, then get with the flat earthers. If they're lying, get with the false flaggers. If they're lying, get with the people who died in the actual event that was false flag. Because that's another type of false flag where you exaggerate it, right? You know, so there's all different types of ways. All right, I'm going to show y'all something. I know y'all talkative. Y'all talking, boy. I guess we might do Freaky Friday then. We might do Freaky Fantasy Friday because no such thing as fantasy. Everything supernatural in the future is always proven to be true. Everything has a scientific explanation eventually. Crazy Theory Friday. I got a crazy theory. I was thinking this morning. This is what coffee does to me. I was thinking about something. So what if it's not really the aliens? Most people see the aliens. What if it's not? What if it's humans in the future and they keep coming back trying to right things, right? Like, what if they're coming back? You know how they talk about the cattle mutilations? What if it's just in the future, climate change, or ecosystem destruction, or killing off the mammals, and they were coming back to get biological material because they forgot to do the ark this time? Well, there ain't no Noah around that to build the ark. Ain't nobody on the planet now said, speaking of Mike, what if humans from the future invented gods? What if they came back to, listen, because I mean, think about it. I know, just go with me for a minute. You know, we always achieve what we conceive, and eventually we'll make a time machine. It's just gravity and all. What if in the future, if I was in the future, I had to go back and get y'all from killing all us, being Democrats and Republicans, voting for things and not seeing 50-foot Negroes on Trump's tower. If I had to come back and get y'all to stop being stupid, you know what I'd do? I wouldn't come back as me. Hell y'all kill people and murder people and colonize and eat people. Not in that damn order. In the middle, you rape people too. No, whole country's up and y'all don't even see it. Y'all don't even see it. Y'all good with that. I would not come back as me. I'd come back as a voice. I would come back as a voice and I would speak in your ear, invisible. I have like a cloak or something. I'd be like, what am I like? God said that you shouldn't kill each other. And God said that you should love each other. And God said that you should render to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God, me. Yeah, that's me. I think, yeah, me. What it people get my Christians get a little upset. All right. But no, but that's what I do. I wouldn't come back as me because y'all crazy. I'd come back as and you wouldn't see me. You know, the funny thing is, you know that technology exists, right? You know it does. Not the time travel, not that I know of, but the technology to beam voices in ears. You know that, right? Please tell me you know that. If not, I'll post the link. You can do a quick search. They actually have the technology now to beam a laser into your ear and make voices appear in your head. You'll hear voices in your ear. Crazy. That's what I do. So anyway, I think we keep making it. I don't think I don't think it's suspect that every generation thinks we're the last generation. There's always some calamity, but it doesn't happen, right? World War II, they saw the Foo Fighters everywhere. That was just us probably coming back saying, you know what, we know which fighters took out this plant, and that plant make wheelbarrows and wear wheel bearings, and that didn't allow them to make this, and they couldn't make the D-Glock or something. So we got to blow up that B-17, and we come back and just blow up that B-17. Or we just come out and scare the flight and make them fly another way because all the Foo Fighters. That's what I would do. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna show y'all something. I want to show y'all something because this is one of the good things. If you start looking up time travelers and what is it? People from the future, you always run into these invisibility cloaks because aliens don't want you to see them, and I wouldn't want to see you neither. Y'all crazy. I try to be invisible now. Half the time, like, how come we don't see you out no more? You don't go to the nope. I'm an introvert. I hide from y'all. Y'all crazy as all hell. I don't go outside. I stay in my house. I live under my rock. Y'all killed too many RP. All right, let me show you this. Let me see if I can move this down. All right, y'all remember this one? Anybody remember this? This was this video. And where was it shot? I forgot where it was. There was a car, it was a bus pulling up to an intersection. I'll post the link. You can watch this brother's channel. Watch the van right there? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it hits a force of something. Gets pulled back, and that car gets moved around. Y'all see this? It was a CCTV footage. In slow motion, it just went up to a stop. And the funny thing is, people say it's different things. People say it's an invisible animal. People say it's multi-dimensional. What is it? The multiverse, that we're tagged with different dimensions. They say it's a gravity well and these things happen on the planet. People say it's photoshopped, whatever. And what did the government say? Because this is part of my theories. I always say, what did the government say? I don't believe none of that. What did the government say is probably the exact opposite. I don't believe none of that. So the government came out on this one and said it was a string from a street sweeper. That's what they finally said. Now, I don't see no string. It could be photoshopped out because it pulls the van back, look like it's something going the other direction. I don't believe that. Don't make no sense to me. I'm seeing something invisible happening here. Not yet, because I want to. Damn it, yes, yeah. You just want to see that. Yes, I do. I want to see that. Some things don't make sense. But so look at. I'm gonna go back. But see, the way my brain works, because I always question these things. I question these things. See, if the van is coming forward, I'm gonna pause it for a minute. So, right. So if it has to do with the street sweeper, because I think on the other side of the road you'll see a street sweeper coming to the frame, and if it's going. And the force in physics, if the cord was hanging on the back of it, it would grab the truck and pull it back, and that makes some sense. But you would see an opposite force on the street sweeper. The street sweeper don't stop. It's just still going, like it's not even budged. So I see something paranormal, and I think there's a scientific explanation. I have no idea what it is, but the government's lying. See, like when it gets pulled back, you should see the street sweeper, which is right there. It's not even moving. Didn't even budge. So it moved a van, and a car. That's either a street sweeper or some mutant running across the street. I don't know. There's an invisible person from the future coming back. No, actually, what I kind of think, like, to be honest with you, stop playing, be serious. kind of serious, not really serious. I'm 98% monkey, so I don't get to be too serious. I actually think that was probably a craft flying above or something below, right? Like, I think that these electromagnetic devices are real. I don't think the whistleblowers are lying about it. And if they affect gravity, if they're too close to the ground, I think one was probably flying over the top. They can cloak. We know cloaking is a thing. This publicly admitted now outside the Philadelphia experiment. And I think it just, that gravity affects things, right? So anyway, I thought that was interesting. But this is highly dangerous technology that no government should have anywhere. All right, I want to go to Venezuela. We done with that? A string TF out of here. Oh, get the fudge out of here. Yeah, I don't think we know as much as we think we know. And I think our government always lies about this stuff. Why? Because they want to be powerful, right? Everybody wants to pie. Everybody wants to rule the world. And if you actually believe that your government's in charge of everything, they're the big dog, then when they come to town, you'll show your neck, right? They're the big dog because what they say is true. Donald Trump is racist, so we got to fight the racists. And ignore the fact that he dancing on Bobby. He dancing with Bobby. He dancing with black ladies all in videos and stuff all throughout the 90s. Anyway, all right, let me stop. I just don't think y'all should believe anymore. I know y'all believe. I don't believe none of it. We need to go to Venezuela because they're trying to kill people, and that's more important than everything. Don't kill people because people are the best people and people's good people. Stop killing people. And it's always a colonization effort. And I've been hard on Trump. I know my Trump friends, they say, you've been hard on Trump. Listen, I never said I was with you. I just said I ain't against you. I'm against the establishment, right? And if you take on this, if you guys with the invisible faces ever start showing the same behavior and you start to see around them, then I get to see that they all work for the same people or they all operate from the same manual. And now this whole movement to topple Venezuela, that's an Obama move, right? Which is a Bush move, which is a Clinton move, which is another Bush move. That's a deep state oligarch move. And I just think that we shouldn't look at the presidents for their faces, see through the face, see the oligarchs and the corporations behind it, see through I'll leave the MMR alone. All right, let me show you this. Here's a brother on the ground talking in Venezuela. Because, this is why I have friends from all over the planet, because I like to do my research. I don't trust your media, and your media, to me, they lie about every damn thing. And so when something happens, I'll ping somebody and say, well, what's going on the ground there? What you see, right? Yeah, because I know my media is lying to me. Tell me what's going on. And then someone hit me the other day and said, Maduro has to go, but we don't want no kind of violence. And I said, that made sense. That made sense. It makes sense to me that, but he was elected. They don't like him, but he was elected. All right, I'm gonna shut up. Let me shut up. This showed up on RT. There's someone else who said the same thing. And so when I look at things, I like to look at voices on the ground. I like to look at multiple angles and plausibility. I don't want to talk about it, but we have to talk about it because they're trying to kill people, and that's most important, to not kill people.
Mike Pompeo's speech at the United Nations Security Council, and I was just aghast that he's pushing the democracy card as usual, okay, and when it is anything but about democracy. But from a Venezuelan perspective, we've talked about the misery that's going on in Venezuela.
Oh, y'all hear that word, perspective? It's a big word, y'all. It's I can't spell it, perspective, P-E-R-S-P-E-C-T-I-V-E. Sometimes I used to watch the spelling bees and I just start clapping, even though the little kids spelled the word right or wrong. I didn't know if it was right or wrong. I just start clapping because everybody's like, I was like, no, she got it wrong. They're like, she got it right. It's like, oh, yeah, she got it right. Good girl. Oh, good. Oh. Perspective, Venezuelan perspective. Why would you want the Venezuelan perspective on what we do in Venezuela? Why would you want that? How does that make any damn sense? Why would you ask anybody in Venezuela what they want us to do with their oil? Why? Because billionaires want the oil. Billionaires want the resources, and they will use your president, the last president, the next president, all the presidents to steal all those people's resources. So why don't we ask Venezuela? Perspective, look it up. It's not hard to spell. I spelled it. You can spell
Venezuela
it.
Because of the economic situation here. But would you say that within Venezuela there is a democracy deficit from people on the ground looking up? Go ahead.
I think that there are multiple ways of interpreting that question. I think that you have had the empowerment of new sectors of the population who in the past have been excluded from the democratic process. Remember, what brings Chavez to power is the fact that you have a calcified political system, a pacted democracy, essentially between two political parties, the Christian Democrats and the Social Democrats, who had excluded progressive sectors, who had excluded people from the barrios and from the hills of Caracas and from other areas, and essentially had governed the country in a way that favored the middle and upper classes. So what you have in Venezuela with the arrival of Hugo Chavez, the election of Hugo Chavez, is in many ways the opening up of that space. And that creates a bifurcation, that creates a clash, because many in Venezuela were not used to that. They were used to their privileges. They were used to their position as a country emerging supposedly into the modern era. And they weren't used to hearing voices from below, voices from the sides. And I think what we've had in Venezuela is that dramatic opening. Now, what has happened since the death of Chavez? Yes, there has been some actions on the part of the government that
I'm pause for a second. So what is he explaining? He's explaining that they had a crony setup before Chavez, right? They had a crony setup, same thing like America. I always talk about the pyramid. You got people at the top, they're padded by the sellouts under them, the upper class, and they're padded by the sellouts under them, the middle class, they're padded by, and then the lower classes on the bottom, and all the upper classes keep everybody down. So they weren't used to hearing voices of the slaves way out in the fields. They weren't used to hearing voices from the white and black children picking cotton way out behind the bush nobody want to look at. And so Chavez came in and said, nope, the resources belong to the people. It's not socialism, it's just called ecosystem. It's what we always used to do. We didn't take the resources and give them to private banks. We didn't take the resources and give them to Wall Street. Everybody shared the resources, the bees, the birds, the monkeys, and everybody shared. So he said, we're gonna let everybody share. Chavez did a good thing, gave everything back to the people, and the bourgeoisie, the middle class, and everybody, most of y'all on the broadcast right here, most of y'all, and me too, it included, we kind of got used to kind of stepping around on everybody's heads. Like, they kind of got used. It gets a little cushy. Listen, I come on here, I can make a video, I can drink my coffee, and I can forget the fact that this coffee, the coffee growers get 2 cents on the dollar for the coffee, because it tastes good, it's delicious. I can drink my coffee like that. Meanwhile, the poor slaves way out in Colombia and Venezuela and everywhere growing my coffee, like that bastard drinking the coffee and they ain't giving me nothing for it. See, we like to be higher up because it feels good and cushy. We can do this. But Chavez undid that. And now the people beneath him were able to step up and have voices. And so this brings it to the modern time. Does that mean it's a perfect system? No. Doesn't mean Chavez was an angel? Hell no. He's a government. He's leader. Leaders always do dumb things. They always want power. They always take it too far. But he upgraded the system, right? He took an old system and then evolved it better and gave the people who live over the damn oil and got the coltan in their backyard and gave them a little something for it. So what happened next?
I would consider authoritarian. Yes, there has been some actions on the part of the government that I would not support in many ways. I think there has to be a greater opening, a greater level of participation. And the only way to accomplish that is through negotiations. This is not going to be resolved militarily. Long term, the fabric has to be reconstructed in Venezuela, and people need to understand that they can participate in this process.
You know, very well put. You know, Paul.
I'm gonna pause on that. Militarily, right? And so this is the other problem. This is the other problem I get. This is the other reason I sit under my hole. Is we got too many people going along with these psychopathic ideas that you solve problems with force. You don't solve problems with force. When you have a problem with somebody, you talk to them. It's called negotiation. Get their perspective, see what's going on. But then again, of course, you ask yourself the question, do I have any say in the perspective on the ground? Do I have any say? Am I from that area? Am I from that land? I don't want to say country, because countries don't exist. They're all just corporations fighting over resources. And I partially think that Venezuela, it doesn't fit within the model, right? It doesn't fit within the model of giving specific resources to specific people. And you fall in, you know, you don't see through the faces. You don't see that all these governments are doing the same thing, right? They're taking resources from the land, from the creatures, all the creatures that live on the land, and they're giving them to billionaires. And that's the only reason we're going to Venezuela, for the billionaires. That's the only reason everybody's turned against it. What the EU Parliament now came out and said they support Guaido. Turns out, looking more into it, Guaido's been coming to the United States for over a decade. meeting with people, lining this up. This whole thing has been lined up. All the nations who all fell in agree with this. They already got the deals lined up. They already wrote it out. Obama and Trump all did the same thing. They made sure, hey, you got, all right, you need how many M35 Raptors? Okay, you need how many tanks? Okay, you need a couple million AR-15s. Okay, you need a couple million M16s, and you need some nuclear radiation. What they give us that uranium one? They get. Was that Clinton? Get uranium. Here's your uranium one. They done lined it up ahead of time. Everybody got what they want. So, okay, when we're ready to do this, everybody's getting what they want. Y'all come forward. We all support this coup. And that's all that happens. And the people in the middle are the ones that are going to die. And they always get a patsy. They always get a sellout. They always get somebody, Guaido, which at some point in time, maybe he did mean well. I don't know. But now I don't think he means well at all. He is about to get tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people murdered. That man is highly dangerous, highly dangerous. He's calling for a coup. He's saying, help me. I need guns and weapons. He's telling the military to stand down. And he's talking about, we need what was his words? A low bloodshed replacement of government or something like that. See, this is where I stop. This is where I stop. And it's not just because alien Jesus told me I have to. It's because it makes some common damn sense. I'm an adult. When I got a problem with somebody, I talk to them. It's called negotiation. I don't get behind governments and presidents that make decisions with force and violence. Why? Because it's psychopathic. It's psychopathic when all the other presidents did it. Psychopathic when this one's doing it. And that's assuming that they're even doing it. I'm not, like I said, I avoid talking down to presidents in that way because we don't know what controls their office. We don't know. Let me get these guys off. We don't know who's behind the mask. We don't know who's behind them. The only thing we know is America, the American federal government does not make its own decisions. That's all we know. They don't at all. They have no say in anything important, not definitely when it comes to foreign policy. So we can stop talking about it from a Trump, Obama, whatever perspective. All right, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I see in Venezuela. Leave it alone. Stay out of it. They fit outside of the model. They have this philosophy of giving land and sharing it, not giving resources to billionaires. And if you're cheering going in and stealing their resources and giving to banks and billionaires, something wrong with you. I don't understand. People think, oh, we're going there for America. It's better that America get it than everybody else. I'm like, are you going to get it? You gonna get it? Were you in that meeting with Guaido? I was in the meeting. I was in that meeting. They're going to share it with all America. No, they're not. They're going to go down there. They're going to get American boys and girls killed. They're going to take all the weapons made from your tax dollars. They're going to take all the weapons made from the money they print that our kids and grandkids got to pay back. They're going to go down there and kill a bunch of people, take the coltan minerals, give it to billionaires and corporations, and they're going to make a mint. And they're going to use that money to screw you even more. That's how this works. See through the lies, y'all. See through it. Because I guess I'm getting to that point in the administration where it's becoming very obvious. Right? We got to this point with Obama where it became very obvious he was not in control of any damn thing. He could dance and sing, play the saxophone. Was that Clinton? That was the other, that was the other liar. But you got to see through it. You got to see through it. Don't get played by this stuff. These are killers. These are not your presidents, the people behind them. These people are murderers. They murder entire nations. I like the MMR, that only gives autism. Yeah, I ain't seen that. I'm gonna let that one slide, y'all bastards. That's why I posted that link yesterday. Who was that? ICANN? ICANN. I like ICANN. I don't even know what ICANN stands for. I was in the room. They were posting ICANN because they were talking about the state of emergency from people getting the measles. I'm like, y'all still believe this stuff? Like, really? They come out and say, look, you didn't see the street sweeper. Anytime the government say something, they're just trying to get some sort of behavior out of you. Don't believe this crap, question it. That's why I don't trust nobody. I don't trust nobody. And things in my life go pretty damn well because I don't trust nobody. Y'all 98% money. You know what? This is what I posted the other day. I said, you want me to trust your government? Show me a government that's not made up with, show me a government that's less than 97% monkey. Find me one. Find me a government that's less than 97% swing on trees, eat bananas, scratch their butt, and sniff each other's butts. Because you know the monkeys do that, right? They sniff each other's butts to know they are, just like the dogs do. Like sometimes they taste it too. What's for lunch? What you eat for lunch? It's food around here. Show me a government that's less than 97% monkey, and damn it, what are we, 50% banana? Something like that, 50%, and 49% banana. Show me one. Show me that government. That's the one I'm going to trust. Short of that, I ain't trusting none of y'all monkey, banana, DNA having bastards. I love y'all. All right, let me calm down. This is when they start telling me, you drinking too much coffee. Don't drink too. All right, what are y'all saying? All right, let me go back. I just say hands off Venezuela. Something runs our government. We never know what it is. They're always ahead of us. Yes, Angela, they're always multiple steps ahead of us. Multiple steps. You know, and the thing is, we could fix it, though, if we got honesty in government. If we had the secrecy was gone. If the lawsuits were focused on the lying government and not the other people who are having theories against what they're lying about, we could get integrity back in government. If people stood up and they started requiring that we stop supporting liars because we like how they look and we like their political party and we see through the bull, we see through the faces. But people can't seem to see through the faces. Damn it. There's only a few atoms. You can see through it. Let me see. Interesting. The guys crossing the street at the same time look like what they're carrying. Yeah, it was weird, Tam. You're right about that. It was weird watching them. I know what you're going back to the video. It was weird watching them cross the street because they act like they look like it was like nothing happened. Nothing happened. And this is why I see suspicion. That's why I like to look at these videos, because I look at them like, something ain't right. Let me see. You're right about that, because when they were crossing the street, hold on, I'll support this brother, post his link. They're crossing the street, like, look like there's like nothing, it's like a happy day in the neighborhood, like, this is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighbor. Would you mind? Would you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? And they just walk right past it. Like, something's wrong. Like, something's wrong with that. Like, what's in that baby carriage? What, you got an anti-gravity device or some damn thing in there? I didn't get that. Like, I look at it, but I try to look for what doesn't make sense. This is how you should look at your government. What doesn't make sense? Let me see. Trump is supposed to be fighting for peace. Whoa, what just hell happened? He's trying to colonize somebody. Whoa, that's globalism. What the hell? And that's somebody crossing the street like, ain't nothing. Listen, let me tell you how this works in America. Ask yourself this question. If you were crossing the street, I don't know, you crossing the street, you got your baby in the carriage, y'all crossing the street doing your thing, and all of a sudden you see two vans and two cars lift up in the air and fly back the other way. What do you do? What do you do? I think they're a part of it. You're right. You know what? The anti-gravity device might be in that baby carriage. They might be the time traveler's family. It doesn't make any damn sense to me. And when I see things that don't make sense, this is why I just back out. I just mentally, psychologically, I just back out of it. Like, I don't know what the hell happened. It's scary. I don't like it. We shouldn't be doing this. Does government have secrets? Do corporations have anti-gravity devices? Do they got invisibility sprays? Is humans coming back from the future? Is it aliens? I don't know what the hell is happening. No secrets in government. None. I just shut down. I shut down because they don't make no damn sense to me. If I was crossing the damn street and I'd seen the vans and cars flying through the air, shoot. You know what? You see the stroller right there. You see the stroller right there. You see this black dude go running the other way. That's what you see. I don't do crazy. I don't do crazy. Like I said, I'll be the first one to run. We in a crowd of people. When people start running, I'm running. You don't stop and say, what? Why are we running? Should we run? Which way should we run? I don't do that. People start running. I grew up in the outskirts of Washington, D.C., damn it. When people run, you run. I was in the movie theater when I was a kid. I'm alive for some good reasons. I was in the movie theater. Where was I at? I was in Princess Anne, Maryland. I was in college down there. They had the 99-cent theater. I know, quick little story time. I was in the theater, and the guys, they started fighting, and they was fighting. I was like, whoa, I was here with my boys. We were kind of deep. It was about 3-4 of us. We were in there watching the movie, 99-cent movies. Yes, the movies used to cost 99 cents. And they were down there fighting. He was throwing them over the chair and whatever. I was like watching the fight, because this is what we do. You watch the fight. We was watching the fight. And all of a sudden, everybody started running. I was like, the hell, everybody running, put some fight. Y'all, we supposed to watch the fight. We had no camera phones back then. You couldn't take no pictures or nothing. We wanted to watch the fight. But you know what? My DC kicked in. Bam! People running, get the hell out of Dodge. I jumped over the last chair, jumped over somebody, flipped over, did a roll, did some Matrix type stuff, got the hell out of the theater. As soon as I ran out the door, guess what we heard? Pop, 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 pop. They started shooting. All right, listen. All right, so that would never happen in America. I don't know how we got there. But it would never happen in America. It doesn't look right to me. This whole scene is just something that should never happen. Wherever that happened, that government shouldn't have any secrets. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. When things don't look right, I don't trust my government. I'm sorry. When people break out into measles, the mumps, and rubellas, and bubonic plague, and leprosy, I don't trust my government. That's not what I do. That's not how I work. I don't go, government, what's going on? Can y'all help me? Oh, sure, son. Yeah, take this needle and jab it in your arm. Oh, thank you, government. No, hell no. I start questioning stuff like, what the hell? You know, and it check both sides. You know, like I said, I'm not anti. People say, you're an anti-vaxxer. No, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Then people say, but you like vaccines. I don't like vaccines. You know what I am? I'm an anti-dumb, stupid stuffer. That's what I am. Anti-dumb, stupid stuffer. If you're dumb and stupid, then don't tell me what to do. If you're a lying government, I don't trust your needles. If you're a lying pharmaceutical industry, I don't trust your needles, your drugs, and none of that. If you done already murdered millions of people, government and pharmaceutical industry, I don't trust none of y'all. If you the FBI and you can't go arrest, this is what I said the other day, I got in trouble, y'all. I get so much trouble with y'all. I don't know why y'all believe anymore. I said the FBI needs to go arrest the pharmaceutical industry. And it's like the whole industry? Hey, like, why not? I'm like, yes. The whole industry is corrupt, y'all. You shouldn't have a pharmaceutical industry. You understand this, right? You can't take the medicine man running in the woods in the jungle, shaking leaves and sticks and stuff one generation, the next generation. They're driving Benzes and got multi-hospital complexes and training all the doctors. You don't know. You don't need that. You can't have that, baby. The whole thing got to go. If the FBI believed in their oath at all, the CIA, Homeland Security, any of these people, any of these groups, the police state, the sheriffs, all your big police states, Democrats, Republicans rolled out, the military, the Marines, and everybody. If anybody believed in their oaths at all, you know what they'd be doing right now? They'd be arresting the energy sector. They'd be arresting the pharmaceutical sector. They'd be arresting the government. They'll be arresting all of them right now. If any of them give a damn, if any of them believed in any of the oaths they took for the people, if any of them believed they were human beings and loved, y'all don't do that. Don't listen. I'm getting excited, but don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, don't do that. Listen, y'all can go peacefully. Don't take your guns. Don't take your guns. Take your walking stick. Don't know, because violent revolution doesn't ever work. But they'd arrest them. They'd arrest them. If any of them gave a damn about all these kids, I sat there on that broadcast and I listened to those moms. It's so hard to do. It's so hard to do. It's so hard to do. Listen to that mom talk about probably her baby was 14 months old, something like that. 14, no, it was 14 months. It was 14 hours. Took her little baby to get the flu shot, and within 14 hours, the baby was dead. So I left the room, the baby was playing, gave him the flu shot. Or had the flu shot, the baby was playing, and she's at home, went to go make lunch or something, came back, and the baby was dead. Man. I don't know how y'all believe it anymore. I know. I just don't know how y'all believe. But if I were in the FBI, that's exactly what I do. Our problem isn't the FBI. Our problem's not the MI6 or the KGB, none of them people. Our problem is the people at the tops are being run by oligarchs. We can't see through who's at the top. And a lot of people still believe in the top. When your people are being killed, your people are being democided, your people are being poisoned, you're supposed to stand up for the people, especially if you're a people. And I don't see any of that happen. I hear my Trump friends are saying that something's coming. I keep hearing that. And I'm still hoping. I've been hard on, I'm not hard on him. I'm hard on the system, the fact that every president does the same thing. So I'm hoping y'all are right. I am. I pull for every president, though. I do. Well, not necessarily every president. I pull for the group effort that puts, hopefully, that person there. And I hope that they can wake up. I'm still pulling for Obama, to be honest with you. I am. He can still come forward and say, listen, I can't imitate his voice. He can come forward. All right, listen, Americans. I just want to tell you here, because he's got that voice that kind of make you think he's your uncle or something. He's so not your uncle. He ain't your uncle. Americans, listen, we've got invisible devices. We've got anti-gravity ships. The pharmaceutical companies are killing you. The police, we've turned into a police state. It's not really their fault. Their legislators write their laws. There's just quiet, dark men in the office of the Oval Office. They tell us what to do. They don't let it go anywhere. And he can say that right on his Netflix special. He could say it right on the Netflix special. We're colonizing the whole damn world. I really didn't want to, but damn it, they made me. They put a gun up to Sasha, Malia, and Bo, and they were going to put the dog in the water, and I wasn't going to have him drown my dog, so that's what I had to do. He can come forward anytime he wants. Clinton might. Nah, Clinton, we pushing it. Clinton, we got, because some of us a little further down that psychopathy path, right? Some of us got too many warrior genes, a little too hot and activated. Bernie can come forward anytime he wants. But then again, I guess to a degree, Bernie probably kind of did. So did Trump and so did Obama. They tell you that the government's controlled by money. They tell you that. We just don't believe them when they say it. Trump meant to go in and clean up Washington, drain the swamp. Swamp is getting thicker. Now, I know y'all say he's playing 3D chess. I'm not seeing the pieces moving. I'm seeing big corporations getting more powerful. They said Obama was going to go, what was his saying? Clean up Washington? Something like that. He went in to go clean up Washington. I see all these people going in to go in and just going in, and I'm waiting for these corporations to lose power. I'm just waiting for people to come back and more power to the people, and I'm not seeing it. I never see it. All right, let me see. We could do better just by governing ourselves. Ish, and I'm with you on that. I'm not a government person. It's not that I don't like government. I don't like lies. I don't like stupid stuff. I don't like ignorance. And that's all I really see. I don't like killers. I don't like rape. I don't like war. I don't like people who make decisions based in violence, right? Like, that's my thing. And I knew I was going to get here to this point where my Trump friends might get mad at me, but I can't support decisions made in violence. Like, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea for America to colonize anybody. I got into it with somebody on the well, I don't get into it with people. I say what I got to say and I walk away. I don't get into it with anyone. Somebody on the Ron Paul cast. I love Ron Paul. I don't always agree with him, but I love the brother because I think he speaks his mind. And you know, and he's very critical of this colonization in Venezuela too. And I think I was saying something about, you know, what I usually say. You know, same thing Trump says, same thing Obama says, same thing all of them say, that we're an oligarchy. We're not a Carter, and everybody else said it. And he's just like, you're crazy. We're not colonizing anything. You're bipolar. I'm like, I'm bipolar. I'm like, really? I was like, you know what? You know, I don't say anything. You know what I am? I'm just a parrot. I was like, you need to go talk to Wesley, what's his name? Smedley Butler. You need to go talk to Smedley Butler. You need to go talk to John Perkins. You need to go talk to these CIA whistleblowers and everything. All the ones who are coming forward and telling us that we actually aren't running the shop. That's who you need to talk to. You need to talk to all the people saying colonization hadn't stopped. And I just kind of walk away, you know. But this is why, like I said, I don't believe. All right, I'm gonna go to comments. I'm done. I'm done running my mouth. Let me go to comments. Steps ahead, but theirs are darkened. All right, Daniel, I know where we're going. We're kind of far back. How to break down the power of the multinationals. Yeah, you know, Christine, I know we can do it. It's just, it involves, like I said, step one is people got to stop fighting with other poor people. That's step one. Step one is people got to see each other as family. That's why I always try to just remind everybody, you're all family. Everybody right here that's on this cast right here, you're all family. And when your family says something that you don't agree with, example, we all at Thanksgiving, we all eating tofurkey, tofurkey and real beets, not that beet crap they put in the can. Tofurkey, and they're like, tofurkey? Ain't no can tofurkey. Listen, vegetarians, what I do. I don't even know tofurkey though, but say we're all around the Thanksgiving. What happens? You walking around, you got your cup, you drinking, you walking around, and somebody says something in your family that you disagree with. Said, Trump's fighting the deep state. What you do? I don't agree with that, Uncle Julian. You walk over there and talk to him. Why? Because that's what you want to have a discussion. You get over there and you start talking to people, right? Because that's what you do in your family. When somebody says something you disagree with, you get into conversation and try to figure out, well, why do they believe that? When somebody posts something on social media you disagree with, you should try to go make a friend with the person. That's what we used to do. And listen to them. Understand that your experiences are different from theirs. You know, but once you're all family, you get it. You may not like the person, as Martin Luther King said, right? Man, you don't have to, what did he say? He said, I'm so glad Jesus said that we don't have to like people. Jesus said we had to love people, we don't have to like them. But when you love people, and you know everybody's your family, then you go make friends with those people. So if you're ever on my family broadcast here and you see people saying stuff that you disagree with, you should be making friends with them. Or at least, you know, send them a little message and say, hey, I saw you posted this. Why do you think that? Do you have any evidence? Do you got any documentation? Do you have any information that I can look into? And I call them brother. sister. That's why I speak to people like that all the time. One, it disarms people. That's number one. I don't want to fight with you. And number two, when they see that you give them a term of endearment and you recognize them as family, it automatically takes away a lot of that tribalism that will end a discussion in being a waste of time. Act like family. If you know your family and you trust the science, and the family ain't flat, then you go with it. So, all right. All of y'all should be friends. That's all I'm saying. All of y'all should be friends. And the people you should be friendly with the most are the people who have different experiences from you, the people you disagree with. If all your friends look like you, act like you, talk like you, from the same country and state and county, got the same hobbies, and you went to the same high schools, you're what's called a pod person. You are a flat person. You are not a well-rounded person at all. You are in a flat perspective. And most times you discuss with anything with any well-rounded person, you're going to get into an argument. And it's going to be tribal. Why? Because your exposure is like this. This is why when you raise a child, you don't just get them to do one thing. You give them exposure to wide varieties of things. You get them playing golf and soccer and hockey, and you get them playing this instrument, the clarinet and the piano and the flute. You know, say, no, the flute's not for boys. No, you get them playing it. If they have experience, you send them in the woods. You teach them how to grow food. You send them on camping trips. You get them to go ice skating. You give them a wide variety and exposure, and it makes well-rounded kids and adults that we all can tolerate, that we don't want to choke and throw in a hole somewhere. You know, be well-rounded. All right, I'm done with that. Aware vaxxer. Yeah, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Who said that? I think Jeannie said it. I'm not. I think I know. I don't think on that. I know that there's no technology on this planet that exists that can tell you how the human immune system works. That's a fact. And another thing I know is nobody on this planet, because that technology doesn't exist, knows how the human immune system completely works. And so I have an issue with all of that. I have an issue. There are enough doctors that are raising the discussion on the other side. I don't need to go to crazy hippies or anything like that, and I'm not one of them. When you got enough doctors and scientists on that side saying, whoa, we need to slow down with this crap, because natural immunity and this vaccine immunity, they're not the same. With natural immunity, you're immune for life. With vaccine immunity, you're only immune for a certain period of time. That should tell you everything you need to know. And outside of the fact that not all vaccines are created the same, right? Not all flu shots are created the same. They're all created by different companies and different research methods and technology and whatever. But the bottom line is when you have natural immunity, it lasts, and mom passes it to the daughter, and the daughter passes it to the granddaughter, and the granddaughter passes it to the granddaughter. And one of the concerns raised on that broadcast yesterday, I was pretty deep. I said, well, what happens when the natural immunity is gone? What happens when this generation that's completely vaccinated loses their natural immunity because they're not exposed to it and it's not handed down anymore? Scary thought. I know one thing that'll happen. The pharmaceutical industry is going to make a hell of a lot of money keeping people alive, because now the thousands of years and all the different viruses and bacteria and flus and bubonic plagues and measles and mumps and all the things that the human immune system's been figuring out might be gone. That's why I'm always like caution. I love technology, and it might be that vaccines save us down the road somewhere. We have no idea. Like I said, it might be that GMO save us down. We have no idea. It might be invisibility cloaks save us way down the road. It might be possible that invisibility and nuclear weapons save us way down the road, but not if we don't own it, not if we don't run it, not if it's not used for the collective benefit of all earthlings on the planet. Less Venezuela, where they want to go down and take the resources and use them just for billionaires. I think when you put things in a very simple package, they make sense. All right. Cory Booker takes pharmaceutical money. As do Farmer 13. Yes, Jimmy, he does. And he takes a lot too. I love that video. You see that video? Someone did a splice of a video. It was like, we got to stop taking the big money. And they had all the money he was taking from the pharmaceutical industry. And they wouldn't let the drugs come in from Canada because he took the money. And so he had to vote that way. And that's a great example, right? They take the money. You vote for them. You believe in them. You get behind them. You trust them. And after they're in office, it's too late. They can't do what you want them to do, because they've already taken the money to do the opposite. You know, and this is why the political system doesn't work. That's why I'm saying y'all still believe. I don't believe. Qigong Tai Chi meditation by Gua. Yes, Brother Walter. Absolutely. Absolutely. Go back to the ancient ways and many things. Did you ever think that police officers are just domestic terrorists? Oh, domestic. No, John, I don't. I think police officers are doing a job like I am and everybody else is. And all of our jobs are attached to some really horrible things and some really horrible corporations. And the politicians broke policing. And until they start ripping out the laws, then they don't give a damn about any lives mattering. They don't give two damns about white lives matter because white children are shot more by police than black children are, minority children. But in terms of percentage of population, minority children are. And any politician that actually thinks and pretends that they are a white nationalist and they love white lives, or a black nationalist and they love black lives, or in the middle and they love everybody's life, will start ripping the laws out. You know, police are doing a job. Like I hear John, I was talking to somebody the other day. What were we talking about? Teaching, right? I think I posted something, try to spark up a discussion. And damn it, what did I say? I think I said something to the effect of, you know, how important education is, and something to the effect of, if we take the allegiance and the flag out of it, that, you know, we should just be dumping money in education because the kids are our future, right? Like, it's not an expenditure, it's not a spending, it's an investment, right? You're investing in these kids by giving them the widest variety of education possible. And I'm not talking about little school books and little line history books. I'm talking about everything. You know, we can be sending all of our kids all over the planet, meeting kids all over the planet, looking at the different religions. You know, we can be sending kids in space. We can be sending kids everywhere, get them to play all the different instruments, do all the different things. It's an investment in the future. We don't give a damn about kids, and that's why we don't do it. We call it a spending. But I said, you got to take the flag out of it. You got to take the allegiance out. You got to take the whole I'm owned by a nation, I'm owned by billionaires crap out of it. Take that crap out of it and just give them education. It's important. And I think the brother was responding, saying something to the fact that all teachers are fake and phony, or teachers are part of the system, and teachers are big, you know, are the problem. And maybe I misunderstood what he was saying, but here's my point. This is what I'm saying. Teachers are critical. Teachers are like police officers, like anything else. If you change the system, and then teaching is about checking boxes. You know, the majority of teachers who stay are going to be box checkers, right? If you change policing, centrally managed, everybody needs to know that this all comes out of Washington, unfortunately, every administration. If you change policing where it's about being a thug and forcing kids around in the streets, about shooting and going to serve a citation, and it's okay that somebody ends up getting killed, that you go to serve a citation, and instead of walking away when the person's violent, you feel you got to tackle them to the ground and shoot them, then the police officers who are there to protect and serve the little old ladies and get cats out of trees, they're going to start to go away. They're, whoa, that's not what I signed up for, right? The ones that are a little more psychopathic, you're going to get more of them invested in it, because as kids, they were locked in lockers and beaten around, and they got that warrior gene going, and they want to be strong and safe. And so they want to carry the gun and the badge. And so it's not the police, it's policing. Social work is the same way. Why do most kids not stay in social work? They come out of college, they were babysitters, they were this, they love kids, they want to take care of kids and blah, blah, blah. They go into social work, they want to rescue kids from bad home environments, and they get in social work and they realize, damn, that's not the job. You know, the job is just numbers. I can't even help the kids I want to help. I got to do things based on the numbers. And not only that, I got so many to do, I can't even tell who's being abused. I got 15 minutes with a family. I can't figure nothing else out sitting down with them in that short period of time, you know. And so we're not fixing things, you know. So I don't blame the social workers. I don't blame the police. I don't blame the teachers. I blame the system. The system is where the fix is, right? I don't blame the people who are saying Sandy Hook was a fake shooting. I blame the fact that we have a lying government that would take intellectual people and get them to say that, right? That's how you fix problems. That's what I believe. What we got? Then I'm gonna have to get out of here. At night they push smart dust on his pillow and he dreams of being a big dog. Jennifer, if you're talking about the presidents, they could. We have no idea. When people get elected in that office, they take them in the black box and you have no exposure to. You have no idea what they see, what they know, how they see it, when they know it, what's in their food, what pharmaceuticals, what MK Ultra crap, what, like, we know that our government's invested in mind control and all of this stuff for the longest time. We know they invested in cloning for the longest time. We know that they're investing in 5G and doing affecting people's brains. We have no idea what happens to people. But what I do know is after they're elected, they don't tend to do the things that people wanted them to do, right? Because we can go back with a lot of the quotes from Obama and Trump about we need world peace. You know, we need to bring up stop. They both were non-interventionist presidents. We need to stop intervening in the actions of foreign governments, right? And what do? This is how I say this is how you get your integrity back. This is how we get our integrity back. We start being honest. Start admitting that, you know what, I voted for the guy. He's not doing the things that I needed him to do. And I think maybe he's playing 3D chess over here and he's getting this right and I like this and this is wrong, and that's how it goes. And you on the other side, I voted for Clinton, but you know what? I like how he's doing this. I like how he's, what was the, we talked about the prison industry, right? Trump came out with the, what is it called? The First Step Act, and freeing the slaves, bringing down mass incarceration, starting to actually help rehabilitate people who are destroyed by our society that turned to crime, as opposed to just throwing them and lock them in prison as slaves, and no one else wanted to act on it. He made that one of his campaign promises. Y'all can go back to my old videos. When he said it, I was on it, you know, and he finally did it. So no, nobody forced him to do it that I know of. He said he was going to do it prior. He got in and it got done. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. You should be able to say that. If you can't say that, then you are for the prison system. There's something wrong with you. So you're for slavery, right? There's Emancipation Proclamation. That's what I'm saying. Ignore the faces. See through the faces and just see what happens. If it's good, say it's good. If it's bad, say it's bad. Keep an open mind for everything and everyone. Respect people's thoughts. Absolutely, Melissa. If we can grow up, that's just called adulting. If we can grow up and act like that, great things can happen. If we continue to be these gaslit trolls that we trust and believe everything that leaders say, we're going to keep having big problems. Let me see. They want to gaslight us into psychosis, make them mad, and stay sane people. Exactly. Stay sane. Ish. That's what I tell everybody. Just be paused. Chill. Listen to the polar, what is it, the polar vortex, you know, chill. Just chill out, America, just chill. When something happens, don't get excited, just chill. When they start yelling state of emergency for measles and mumps, and don't go grab a big needle and shove it in your baby. Go say, well, wait a minute, did they ever fix it? Does the measles, does the MMR, does it work now? Did they fix it? Did they, where's that doctor at? Where's that CDC guy who came forward, the whistleblower, and said that this stuff causes all, did they fix any of that yet? I'm not gonna get excited yet. Why? Because the government wants me to be excited. And the government is always trying to get me excited because they're trying to control my behavior. Just chill, pause, think about it, look at what the other side is saying, and make a decision on it. Let me see. I'm well-rounded, but my belly's... Tina, what the hell are you talking about? Tina, you got big bust and ain't telling no lies, huh? During the morning. Let me see. The way God intended. Yes, Georgia. I love so many people I've met on Facebook and I have met up with them. Yes, Eileen, Facebook is a great tool. It doesn't, that's why I don't get, you know, when people say, I gotta leave Facebook. What's wrong with you? I gotta get off of YouTube. All right, well then you're using it wrong. It's just a tool. It's a tool. If you don't like it, it just means that you're not using it the way that benefits your life. I use these tools in ways that benefit my life. When I meet people on Facebook, I go look at their posts. I like, oh, okay, you know, I see what you're doing. You know, it's a little kind of weird. You know, you're drinking lots of Budweiser and getting on tractors and doing tractor pulls. Look kind of funny to me, but damn, it actually looked kind of fun. You know, like, oh, you know, and you start to relate to people that are a little different from you. And that's just an example. For me, that's not nothing to me. I spend a lot of time in Arkansas. Gun rack ain't nothing to me. Guns don't scare me at all. At all. Poor people with guns, it makes me feel safe. I feel safe. When I see poor people with guns, I feel safe. When I see governments with militaries, I'm highly concerned, right? When I see military industrial complexes and threatening Venezuela, I got problems. Threatening Libya, killing leaders, I got problems. When I see poor people with gun racks, I feel safe because most poor people are good people. Nah. Yes, I am a Second Amendment person, believer, thinger. Yes, don't believe. I'm not a gun lover. I'm not a lover in violence, but the dirtiest, darkest, most evil people on this planet have militaries. So all the poor people have to have guns. I'm sorry, that's just how it works. If I get them drones, I'd get them drones. Do bullies become policemen? Jennifer, I think so. That's what I would do. If I were a bully, y'all used to beat me up and lock me in lockers, I'd become a police officer. Why? Because it'd make me feel safe. And it makes perfectly good sense. You know, but people have to see things, I think, from multiple angles, and it's hard for others to put on their shoes of somebody else. A revolutionary act, all coming together to drain the swamp at revolution. Brother Jack, I hope so. Hopefully it's a peaceful one too. The laws that police are enforcing are domestic terrorism, so they're domestic terrorists. In action, yes, John, absolutely. There's no question about that. If you're going and you're taking little kids and throwing them in prison for sheets of paper because they got an attitude with you, yes, you're a domestic, that's an act of a domestic terrorist. But I bet if you probably got to know who that officer was, you'd probably find out that he kind of went through some things himself, right? You know, bullies turn around, people who get bullied turn around and bully. People who are abused turn around and abuse. And I think that I'm just into root cause problems. That's it. I want to fix problems. I don't want to perpetuate them with the dramatic outrage. I want to fix problems. So when I look at something, I always try to look at the root cause and focus on that. Let other people focus on the justice. I'm not a justice person. I honestly keep people safe, but I don't really care too much about your justice. I care about the justice of the next generation and making sure that we look at the root cause problems based on what psychologists are saying so it doesn't happen again. Solving problems. Let me see. Social workers are mostly feminist, anti-men crusaders. Unfortunately, it's kind of scarily might be sort of true, Travis. In my experience, but my experiences are small, so don't nobody get upset with that. Just in my experiences, yeah, they do tend to be a little overbearing. They also do tend to be a little young. Every social worker I've dealt with back with children's rights, they were actually pretty young. And I was like, they show up to it. They show up like, girl, you old enough to drive a car? Would you? Do you have kids? But that's just me too, Travis. To the degree I'm getting old, I get pulled over by the police, and they pull up. Woo! I stop the car. Woo! They come to get out the car, come up, they walk up to the door. They're like, "Sir, can I see your driver's license registration?" I'm like, "Can I see your birth certificate? You old enough to drive that car? They're getting younger and younger. Can you get a mustache? Can you grow hair on your face? But you know, your diaper look a little." But everybody's getting young to me. Everybody gets younger and younger, the judges and everybody. I'm like, yeah, this is my part. It's probably why I don't trust doctors, Travis. It's probably why I don't trust them. I go to the doctor, I'm like, damn it, that's a sharp object. Can you hold that needle? Do you want me to hold it for you? I don't want you to trip and fall and stab yourself in that, young man. All right. Let me see. The presidents all changed drastically from the candidate by the end term. They have to, Georgia. I think that the presidents that I trust are the ones that actually get killed in office. That's it. In a crony world, I think as a president, you got a short period of time to do a few things, but once they really get in there and they get in you, that's the end of it. And if we can be honest with that, then we can probably talk about the systems of the problem, not presidents. France is trying to set the example. Yeah, Jack, France is, but like I said, France is a little different. Cory Booker was replaced by a clone. Travis, I don't deny it. I know they got the technology. I just don't know if they did it. I'll vote when the truth is told. Voting was once worth fighting and dying for. That was long ago, very long ago, Walter. That's why I'm not a voter. Not a voter. I know y'all can try all day. Try. Yeah, you keep trying. Like I said, show me somebody that's 97% or less monkey and less than 49% banana, and you might actually get my vote. Somebody sent me, it was brother Kevin sent me one the other day. Oh, she was saying all the right things, and I'd watched the video. What is her name? Y'all probably heard of her. Y'all like the politics stuff. What's her name? Is that brother Kevin sent it to me, and it's actually I wanted him to actually talk. I think he's gonna follow her or something, and he should do that. He should do. Brother Kevin, you around? Where you at? You here? You should follow her and watch her with hawk eyes from a human being perspective, right? Not picking a side, and give us feedback. Is she doing the things that she says she's going to do? She talked a lot of human race stuff. She talked about spirituality and not joining sides. Is it Marianne Williamson? Is that her, Nora? I have to go down. The problem is anytime I start doing something on my desktop, they're like, oh, we're going to get them. We're going to play with them. Maybe I open an app or something, and the next thing you know, the broadcast gets messed up. That's why I try to just show videos on YouTube and stuff. Is that her name? Yeah, that's her name, Marianne Williams. And she talk good stuff. She taught good stuff, and I watched the video, and she said, we're going to take people and love people and take care of babies and pick them up and kiss them and, you know, do and invest in this and give land back to the people. She's saying a lot of good stuff, Green New Deal and all of that. But you know, my biggest problem is I see that D under her name. I keep seeing that D, Nora, and this, I don't know if Kevin is here. What did I say to Kevin? I said, Kevin, I said, she taught great. I love everything she says. I absolutely do. My problem is that D. I feel the same way if it was an R under that. That means that I have an affiliation with killers. And that's my problem. That is my problem. But even if it wasn't, even if it was Green Party or Constitutional Party, I'd still say, you know, but you still got an affiliation with the system, right? And the system is a killer, right? Cold-blooded. You know, and that's my issue. So it's important, but I'm not, you know, like I said, I'm not a big critiquer of that. I don't know what's going on. I say, listen, watch her, keep an eye on her, and do your research and give us feedback what you're getting from this person. I'm not sure that politics and politicians is a way out. It might be a way out. It might be. I think there's a slim chance that a politician can get in and start fixing things. It might be, you know, but keep an eye on her. I don't think, in my mind, the way things works is they say things because they know that's what I want to hear. Like right now, politicians are watching right now. Watching this right now. I know if you, I was like, why do you want to be my friend? Do you know what I say? I got Republican and Democrat congressmen on my thing. And I'm like, why you want to watch me? I'm just going to talk bad about you all the time. I'm talking about your mama. I'm talking about you this, that, what you do in your drawers. I'm going to talk pretty bad about you, but they watch. And the only reason I think why is because they know what to say. They have to watch. Like, their job is staying in office, right? And so the job is, what do I need to tell the people to get them to believe, to get them to trust me? And they say the things that we're thinking about, and we fall in. And I just don't want to fall in anymore. Like right now where I'm at, and when it comes to a political thing, the headspace I'm in, I need to see some action. I need to see some action. I'm done with the talk. I need to see some action. I need to see you strap up what Brother Jack told. I need to see you strap up a yellow vest. You know, can you get a yellow vest to get in the street? Can you go to prison for me? You know, can you go get arrested? Can you like really show your anti-establishment? Can you start to say things like Ron Paul says, get rid of the CIA, or even be nice? Say it the way JFK did, break them up, spread them to the winds. Break the FBI up, give it back to the states, more power back to the states, more power back to the people. Can you like write a law before you get in office? Because usually when they write the law after office, they didn't write the law. It's it's the corporations that write the law and they just sign it. Yeah, unfortunately, I've been in that process. I know how it works. I wrote a law once. Me and my friends, we wrote the law. We gave it to another. They took our name off. And they put their sponsor name. I was like, whoa, you ain't sponsored the bill. You probably didn't even read it. But anyway, I used to be involved in politics. I just don't believe it anymore. So just keep an eye on it. If you believe, then, you know, you got to be your authentic you, right? Like, this is why I'm saying, I don't tell people, if you believe you're in the right space as a Democrat, then you should do that. If you're in the right space as a Republican, you should do that. Don't, you know, if I'm saying something that makes sense to you, then go with that. But if it doesn't make no damn sense to you, then I just keep reading and just keep going your way. But you got to be your authentic you. Like, I think everything will shake out the way it's supposed to. Everything will shake out the way it's supposed to. Have faith in that. Don't let stuff get to you. Killing him or impeach him won't do a thing. No, Jack, it won't. It won't. No, you know what? Actually, it will. I take that back. It will. It'll make it worse. It'll make it. Why? Because it'll give people a sense of relief. And then the same damn things will happen again. They just get somebody else, you know, and it'll just make things worse. People need to walk away from the system. If Trump is really fighting the deep state, then you should be behind him. If he's fighting the prison system, you should be behind that. But when he turns on Venezuela, you should go against the globalists. And then that's when I think people start to trust you again. And they start to see that you're not always yelling the same thing. And that's how I disarm people for the most part. I talk to Clinton voters or Trump voters, is I'll say the things I see that are good. It's like when you meet somebody. What's the point? Like, you want to get into a discussion with them. Is the reason you're talking with them, you want to fight about something? Or are you talking with them because you want to learn something, right? And are you going to learn something by starting up a spat with what you disagree about? Or are you going to learn something by opening your mind or perhaps embracing things that you do agree on? And most Americans pretty much agree on the same things, like healthcare. That's not even a topic. right? It's not even a topic. Why? Because like we were talking about like Brother Gallon a minute ago, hopefully he is doing well. I haven't gotten an update. When people get sick in your family, you want them to be taken care of, right? People are killed. They'll rob, steal, and destroy if you let their family members die. People don't disagree on healthcare and being taken care of. Not most people. They want their grandmother to get medicine. They want their aunts to be taken care of. They don't disagree on that. They just disagree on who's going to pay for it. And that's why I always go back to automation. And I'm going to hit MMT for a minute. They print the money. They're right about that. The MMT folks are not lying about that. They literally print the money. Everybody in America who dies from lack of health care is because they want to kill people. They print the money to kill the people. They will not print the money to help the people. If you want to help people in America, you want to do anything for America, and what all the politicians tell you on the Democrat, Republican side, we ain't got no money for you. I'm sorry, did you think this was your money? This ain't your money. I know you paid the taxes, but after you paid taxes, ain't yours no more. This is our money. You know, they want to go to war. They got all the money in the world. You want to save an American's life? You want to build a road, put a bridge up or something? Y'all want the wall, put a wall up? We ain't got no money. Ain't got no money. Did you see money over here? Ain't no money over here. Ain't got no money. Want to invade Venezuela? $500 billion. Here you go. Go on, spend it, throw it away, burn it, stick it up your butt. I don't care what you do with it. And that's what I'm saying. It's all a game and a lie. But most Americans agree on health care, right? They want their people to be taken care of. They disagree on who pays for it. And not everybody's exposed to the fact that they got all the money to pay for it. They got the automation and the robot. They got the surgeries now where they cut like a little hole in you and they put in these little stethoscope, I don't even know that's what it's called, camera thing in the arm, and half of it now is robotics where the robot's actually doing little incisions and stuff. And they're doing this stuff. Now they got the automation to make it cheap. They got the one where the doctor's in France and he's just the best surgeon when it comes to that. And in France, you got the best surgeon in France working on you. Like in America, imagine what you can do with that. Imagine what you could do if doctors could just stay at home. Hopefully with broadband access. Hopefully with like good internet, good ISP, not bad. Maybe they gotta have 5G, I don't know. And when you come down with the liver, measles, mump, flu, something, condition, cancer, that they actually can, from home, fix you in another country. Like imagine that. Where can you go with that when you are raising kids, the best kids with the best hand-eye coordination because they're playing the video games as kids, and they're saving lives all around the world. So you don't have to fly to France to save a life. Well, there are a lot of things you got to fix, right, to get there. One, you got to invest more in saving lives than killing lives, and that both political parties more invested in killing lives than saving them. And two, you got to stop thinking like an American. Not American, but a nationalist. You got to stop thinking. I'm not against nationalism. You got to have local economies, and that's a part of nationalism. Like you got to be a localist, nationalism, that makes sense from a help people perspective that are local. But when it comes to killing people that are foreign, you don't want to be a part of that, right? That's the world we can build for our kids, and nobody disagrees on that. They just disagrees on who pays, and politicians are good at lying to you about having the money. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe. Greedy. Yes, Meg, they are super greedy. Traffic tickets has no victim. Traffic tickets have no victim. It's flat out extortion. It is, Rebecca, but those are laws that shouldn't exist, right? And that's what I'm saying, that, if any of these politicians that are crying on television when people get shot at traffic stops, if they actually gave a damn, like as much as they say in the books they write and the bull that they shovel out that people just take right in, then they would say, all right, well, on traffic cops, you can't have guns. Can't have guns. Why? Because too many times you stop people and somebody ends up getting murdered, right? And not only that, but we're starving, right? America's being looted. We've always been. People don't have money. The people on the bottom are doing worse and worse and worse and worse. So why in the hell are you giving somebody a speeding ticket because he's late to work and she's trying to get to work because she's got to pay her bills? Why? It's because your government doesn't give a damn about you because you don't have a government, because they're bought by these big corporations and they make all of this money. And the other thing is jobs. You know where most of the jobs, a lot of these jobs come from? It's the government. Right? When jobs get low, they start making federal jobs. It's part of the reason why they made Homeland Security. If you go back and look at it, it's because they want to give people jobs. $70,000 a year job turning against your neighbor. Right? That's what kings have always done. That's what the lords have always done. So you get these big federal jobs. They need the money. So they got to write more laws to bring more tax dollar money in. I used to live in Maryland a long time ago. And there was a little town. What's the name of that town? Off of Route 13, before they put 1 in. If you ever been down to Eastern Shore of Maryland, down on that side. It's a little town, I forgot the name of it. But the speed limit, Rebecca, the speed limit will go from 55 to 35. No, 55 to like 15, something like that, like in a very short, like within 100 feet. And of course, the little sheriff, I used to call him Boss Hog. He'd sit right there in his police car, right on the other side of the bridge. And everybody coming down from New York had no idea he was there. He'd just sit there, and the whole revenue for this little town was this little dude sitting here with this thing. And if you had Maryland tags, he'd leave you alone. But if you had on out-of-state tags, oh no, you were a part of the revenue system. Boop, 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 all day long, just pulling people over, just racking in the money. And it was just, but this is how the way laws are set up. When you got a big government, you got to extort the people to keep the government big. This is why when people say, they're not crazy on the right, when they say small government, they know what they're talking about, right? Because when the government gets too big, they got to tax you more. They got to write more laws and bring them. This is what I'm saying. Every law is about making, or all the ones I've read, they're all about taking a problem and making an industry out of it, not fixing it. Right? So that's why you're being extorted, and they're like squeezing more blood out of a tourniquet they can, because they're so big and they need to get smaller. That's why I was for the shutdown. They just didn't shut down enough, you know? All right, let me see. Power corrupts. Absolutely, Victoria. Somebody had a good quote on that. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. But I was catching up on Vikings last night. And Ragnar came back. Did y'all see Ragnar? He came back. My son, I got home. He was like, Daddy, you caught up on Vikings? I was like, nah, man, I ain't caught up on Vikings. I've been working, trying to save the world, son. He's like, Daddy, you got to get caught up on Vikings. And so I was getting caught up on Vikings last night. And Ragnar had a good quote. I posted it this morning. See if I can find it for somebody else posted faster than I do. He said, power is always dangerous. It attracts the worst and corrupts the best. Powerful. Powerful. Power is always dangerous. Not sometimes, not on Sunday, not part-time, not when it's my party, not when the person's my race, not when the person look like me. But power is always dangerous. This is what I used to talk about, how the human brain is dangerous with power, because the same brain that was in all the psychopaths, all the dictators going back as far as you can go, that same evil brain is the brain that's in your head. It hasn't evolved and changed much. When it's abused, it's capable of some massively dangerous things. Power is always dangerous. Always. You should never have power over another sovereign creature, ever. And you should never let another creature have power over you. It attracts the worst and it corrupts the best. It attracts the worst. Do you want to have power over somebody? That's why I really don't believe you're politicians, because they want to have power over other people. I personally don't want to have power over anybody. I think that's dumb and stupid. You're a sovereign creature. Why would I want to have power over you? I want you to be free and live your life. So power attracts people who want the power, usually because they're scared. They were locked in lockers as kids. And it will corrupt the best. Ragnar, yes, Ragnar Lothbrok, Tina. A great prophet, great philosopher. Great prophet and philosopher. You know, but a lot of deep things come out of Hollywood, and it's right. People who want power, I'm scared the hell out of these people. These people are dangerous. It will corrupt everybody. You know, people say, oh, well, you know, Obama got in. He's a strong man. He's a strong man. Obama came out of nowhere. Who he strong against? You know, you're talking about killers that run the world. Well, Trump's going to get in and fight. Who he going to fight with? You know, I know he got $1 billion, but these people got trillions. You mean to tell me he's actually going to fight and they won't just kill him if he does? I think you get to do as much that doesn't affect their profits. That's it. Yes, Nora said keep an eye on her. Let me see. They'll chew her up. Yes, Debbie, they will chew her up. They chew them all up. They chewed up Bernie. They chewed up Obama. Seems to me like they're chewing up Trump. Mostly because I think we don't get behind integrity. We get behind identity. And we start seeing these faces, like the picture behind, when the faces stop going away and we start talking like integrity, then our numbers grow. And then they might have people behind them that allow them to do something for the people. Because then if you got your Obama or your Trump in there and they're in office, like, listen, deep state, damn it. I want to do what you say. I do. But did you look out the window, deep state? Look out the window. Look out that window. Y'all see out the window? Like, you got the blinds in the Oval Office. Look out that window. In the deep state, look out the window. Like, what's out that window? Oh, Lord. See, that's what I was telling you. I was telling you, Trump, that's what I was telling you. They out there. They got yellow vests. They got pitchforks. They got torches. They got tar. They got feathers. And look at that. They're black, they're white, they're Democrats, they're Republicans, they're Christians, they're Muslims. Everybody? I think it's everybody. I think everybody. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I can't invade Venezuela. I can't topple them because they're going to murder us. They didn't figure out the scam. They figured out what y'all's doing. So this is what we'll do. You know, and this is the power you can give a president, Congress, some senators. They're going to kill us all. They're going to topple everything. Y'all going to lose all your money in America if we don't start doing things for the people. If we don't stop spending their money and spending debt for their kids and grandkids and other grandkids invading the world. That's how you fix things. To me, that's one way. That's one way. A lot of ways to fix things. That's one way. But continuing to stick with identities and stick in the little places they put you, it's not going to work. No talk, action. Exactly, Tina. There has to be action. They talk really good. They know what I want to hear, and I always tend to hear it. That's what I'm saying. Done talking, Daniel. I'm done talking, and I'm done listening to them. I want to see them doing something. Give up your life and follow me. That's what they say. That's what Jesus said. Alien Jesus said, Brother Jack. Let me see. Marianne has been saying the same stuff for 35 years. She's a grassroots change of sort. I appreciate that, Nora, and I'm glad to hear that. My problem is, does she have the ability to bring about change, right? Action. Are the people really going to get behind her across lines from all perspectives? Right? Is she going to stand up for everybody's rights, or is she going to stand up for some people's rights? Is she going to stand up for sovereignty as a human creature, or is she going to stand for continue to burn the Constitution and the Bill of Rights to give things from one group to another group and take everybody's rights? Those are my questions. I want to see action on that. And I don't see that. I just see the same rhetoric that they like to push out. And I'm not going to turn on anybody. Like, I think this is how we actually get there. I'm not going to turn on anybody. I listen to what my friends on the right say. I listen to what my friends on the left say. And they all say very intelligent things, and they all got good points and reason why they believe the things that they do. And I'm not going to turn on any of them. I'm not going to turn on the poor whites. I'm not going to turn on the poor blacks. I'm not going to turn on the poor Hispanics. I'm not turning on anybody. I'm not going to turn on the Venezuelans. You know, I think when we start acting like humans, that's part of our way to get out of here. Let me see. No politicians needed for unity. No, Tina, we don't need any politicians for unity. For unity, we just simply need to grow the hell up. That's it. That's all we got to do. We need to take the diapers off and start acting like grown-ups. They all follow the path that's already made for them. There will be no change until the people demand it. Yes, Angela, thank you. You said that way up in the comments. We were on that. We like minds thinking alike. Traffic infringes have quotes here. It's rigged like elections. Oh no, traffic infringements have quotas here. It's rigged like yes, there are, Ish. And why do they have the quotas? Because they've made policing political, right? The sheriff wants to stay in office, so he's got to meet his quota, given a quota by the state. You know, and so in order for him to meet his quota, you know, if you have a quota for putting people in prison, you're not going to go after the rich people who can get lawyers. You're going to go after the poor people who can't. It's not racism. That's why I keep trying to tell people. Nobody wants to listen. It's economics, right? But these laws come down from whom? Politicians. Politicians write the laws, the public responds, the sheriffs respond, the police respond, they end up with quotas, and you end up with people who are least likely to be able to defend themselves in trailer parks, farms, rural areas, or ghettos or barrios, locked up in the prison system, right? But we turn on a group of people because we think it's racism, and it's not. It's just economics, and it's a system set up by someone who took a problem and wrote legislation and made an industry out of a problem. You know, somebody started a group called Poor Lives Matter. That means you're getting it. That means you actually understand, because it's the poor lives that they're always raping. It's poor lives that we stand on as a middle class. It's the poor lives that Wall Street is just gouging from, because poor lives are commodities on Wall Street. But then again, the middle class lives are commodities on Wall Street too. And they're being pushed down. I think that's what's starting to change things, is they're starting to realize that the middle class is going away. And it's not fun to have your neck stamp stood on, whether you were born that way or it's because you got gypped somehow and your wealth taken, or lost your job. Let me see, laws. We need leaderless democracy where everybody participates willingly in egalitarian system. Yes, Victoria, we do. We do. And we can get there. We can get there. It's just we got to see each other as family more and more. It takes a lot of slaves to make a billionaire. It does, Victoria. All the billionaires need a whole lot of people to blindly follow them. That's why power is so dangerous. Trust Ragnar. When the grannies come out, they know they're done. Yeah, Ish. Yeah, you know what? With that in fact, back when I used to do children's rights, we had that thing for grandparents' rights over their grandchildren, where they were standing up, and yeah, they got it. Because you know the problem with old people, they got time. Old people, they got time because they would get together and they would go read the laws. And that's why I love these grandparents groups. They read the laws on rights for children, and they would start coming back because they were educating themselves, and they weren't getting lied to. They weren't accepting the lies. Grandmas, but they used to take out the purses anyway, beat you in the head. And so they would do the study. They weren't easy to fool. People got jobs, easy to fool. We're easy to fool. We don't have time. We got about, like, I'm running out of time now. I gotta get the hell out of here. I'm gonna get in trouble. You know, we don't have time, you know, but they'll sit and they'll read the law. No, you don't have a right to do this. You can't do that. They'll read the Constitution. They'll read the Bill of Rights. You can't take children away from us. Not because my baby and my daughter doesn't have water or electric. You have no right to do that. They're scared of grandparents. Grandparents, they'll show up. And plus, the older you get, the less bull you're willing to take. Young people, they take a whole lot of bullshit. So politicians shoving that, they just taking it, put more on my plate. Just give me more, give me more, give me more. I love all of it. Yep. You know, but the grandparents, hell no. Listen, I'm about to die. Come on, listen, I'd had a good life. What? Bring it. You know, it's like that old lady they were taking a gun from. Y'all remember that video? It pissed me off, bastards. When the police went down to New Orleans and tried to take the gun from that old lady. She's like, mother, she was fighting them. And the cop, she was doing a good job. He had to take her and slam this. She was like 90-something years old. Slam her on the ground and hold her and whatever. She's like, grandpa's like, I live my life. No, because I think the older you get, the more you think about the next generation. You start thinking about it. I didn't have these kids and grandbabies so y'all could put them under the same oppression y'all got us under. But people start to realize we're all oppressed, and that's when things start to change. Courage in the face of danger. Yes, Jack, I had to go watch that video. She had a lot of courage. The police she was like, you ain't getting this gun. She was fighting. If I remember right, was the cop black and she was white or something like that? I don't remember. But that's how, yeah, grandparents, they'll read the laws and they'll stand up. They want change. You know, grandparents tend to be very progressive, but old enough to be conservative enough. That's why I say my inside progressive and conservative are always fighting. Some things I want to be, we need to progress faster on. We need to progress faster on building homes, the automated building of homes, lowering their prices. We know we can build houses for $3,000. Why are people still selling houses for $300,000? That's just dumb. We know we need to progress on food. Why? Because we know food is basically free. Every tomato should cost 1 penny. We got the technology, but we don't invest in feeding people, invest in murdering people. That's why we're going to Venezuela for billionaires. And those things we need to progress on. You know, we need to progress in healthcare. Why? Because we need to help people. Too many people dying from the lack of not having it. You know, we need to be conservative when it comes to these ideas that taking poor people's guns is a good idea while the billionaires got militaries. You know, we need to be conservative on a lot of things too. We need to be conservative on vaccines and flu shots and GMOs and pesticides and herbicides, things giving people cancer. We need to be conservative on 5G. So, you know, if you don't have both, then something's really wrong with you. Something's really wrong. That, to me, that's called a thinking mind. Oh my goodness, my Mill, who is estranged from my hub, tried to use the grandparents crap on him. She actually threatened to sue him. I could barely believe. She said, I can't see the whole thing. She said that I can't help the two of them. It's trickled into my relationship with Hub. Neither have much introspection. Both are narcissists. Yeah. Well, people are always on that sue thing, Jeannie, and I don't really get that. That's more of that same, I'd rather sue the people. I'd rather sue and make the problem worse than sue and fix a problem. Like a lot of our problems are we're just pitted against each other, especially kids, like after divorce. You know, that's what it's about. They pit people against each other and they take everything they have. It's like Democrats and Republicans. Their job right now is to pit the poor people all over the country against each other and keep looting their country. I think we have to stop being pitiable. Got to stop letting people put you against other poor people and think about the root cause of the problem and have enough empathy for the person coming after you or the person who did you wrong to look at how they got to a spot where they would do that to somebody else. And I think that's why I think you kind of go with that. You always got to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And if you're going to sue or take an action, I don't really believe in suing, but if you want to take an action, let that action be something that affects the root problem, not just you getting yours, right? And too many people focus on them getting theirs. Our infringements are managed by a police department called the Civic Compliance Center. Okay. Thank you, Ish. I don't know what that was. That in Australia, right? Something like that. Every police department should be for the people, right? I don't even like that name, the Civic Compliance Center. I'm not interested. Like, I don't want police. Police aren't there. They're not supposed to be there to bring about compliance in the population. They're supposed to be there for the people, to protect the people from the government. They're supposed to protect the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, but the laws don't respect the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and that's how they screwed us here. But yeah, police shouldn't be forcing compliance in the people. If anything, they should be forcing safety in the public, right? You know, if your job is to collect citations, then you don't need a gun. Like, there shouldn't be any police running around with lethal weapons. That's a group of people who are turned against the population, and the police didn't turn themselves against us. The politicians did that, Democrats and Republicans. That's why I say we don't have a government and we don't have a police force. There are a lot of good police out there and a lot of bad police, just like teachers. A lot of good teachers, a lot of bad teachers, a lot of good social workers, a lot of bad social workers. But the system rewards bad more and more every day because Wall Street's buying all the laws. This conversation is awesome, Gerard. Thank you again, Gerard, for hosting. This is my church of truth. I can now sleep on Sundays. Just kidding. I don't go to church. I got kicked out of church. Oh, I get kicked out of churches all the time. On Essence last year, questioning the pastor's Zionist agenda. Thank you, Deborah. We're supposed to do that. I get kicked out of church. I love when I talk to the pastors, but I say, you worshiping an alien, right? They don't like that. What you mean alien? I say, Jesus, is he terrestrial? Is he from here? Is the Holy Ghost from here? Okay, where he from? Where God from? Where he from? Yeah, they from here. Where the angels and demons? Where they come from? Huh? The Nephilim and the sons of light? Where they come from? Are they terrestrials? They said nope. I said, your religion is the belief in extraterrestrials, right? You come with me. Let's watch some UFO documentaries. Come on. They don't like that. But the other thing I like, Deborah, I like the obscure scriptures that people like to avoid, because I honestly believe that there are a lot of scriptures that were written by the little g God, or they're written by people who saw little g gods, not the big G God behind quantum physics and create everything and making matter out of energy, which is still energy. Like, I think there's a big G God, the software engineer that programmed everything, and a lot of little g gods, and we got confused. That's why I like to look at all religions. I don't like to just look at one. I think they all got parts of the story. Adulting actually means being responsible for your own behavior, not following involved. Ooh, no following involved. Yes, Rebecca. Absolutely. It's hard to do, isn't it? It's hard to do to be an adult. It's hard to step up and not follow people. That's why I say, Rebecca, I'm not into leaders anymore. I'm not into this leader crap. I think you can lead yourself. I lead me, and we can lead the next generation into being free. I think the human race should be free. And anybody who wants to fight in that direction, I'm getting behind. I don't care what they look like. I don't care what political party they are. I don't care, none of that. I don't care if y'all call them racist. I don't care if y'all say that they're this, that, or the other. When they say something that's right, I'm gonna get behind the right. When they say something that's wrong, I'm gonna chastise them. I think that's the only way we find our integrity back. But we got to stop being led around, and we got to stop making our kids be led around. Like, I know I'm getting some heat and getting a little flack. People mad at me. The Pledge of Allegiance is a good thing. American. Only if you think that flag represents your neighbors. I think when you do enough reading and you start to see that the flag doesn't really represent your neighbors anymore, and that's why we don't care about our troops. Our Pentagon doesn't. This is why I'm about to get shut off when I start. Y'all join the military. It's a good. Don't raise your kids to follow. Raise your kids to lead. That's what I'm gonna say. Don't raise your kids to follow. Raise your kids to lead. Whatever that is. Whether that's a nation, a flag, a race, a religion. Raise your kids to be sovereigns. Raise them to be free creatures. We've been enslaved as a human race for thousands of years, and I think now it's time we go ahead and end that. Listen, I gotta get out of here. Y'all have a great day. Let me go pick my cotton. Y'all, love y'all to death. This is Gerard. I'm out of here. Have a great weekend.